again, Professor! Welcome back to my science world. Okay, we'll be going back to our topic. Okay, so lipid or lipid. What is the correct pronunciation for this? I don't know. Okay, so before anything else, I will need to drink coffee to activate my brain cells. But wait for a while. Chuck. Okay, where's my saucer? Okay, this is the saucer, right? Saucer. Like that. Okay. Lang akong banana. Charos. Nakakaloka mo palang kapunitad. Okay. So, atong balikan ng atong discussion. Charot. Sorry. English. English pala. Sorry, I forgot. English medium of instruction. Oh, nakakaloka. Okay. Okay. So, again, what are the three types of fats? Saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and the trans fats. Now that, sorry, my tongue was twirled. Saturated fats really, it's just the ordinary single bonds, and both the unsaturated and trans fats have the double bonds. But the trans fats are deadly because of the positioning, something like that. Okay, get the point. Okay, wait for a while. I will discuss something. Okay, ganon. As you can see, guys, also the fatty acids have the carbon and hydrogen atoms, so they are really a non-polar, molecule, non-polar covalent molecule. Meaning, if you will just see the carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms linkage, that is more highly flammable. Because the reason for its flammability is the non-polarity of the molecule by technical explanation. You get the point? The more the molecule become non-polar, the more it will become having a low flash point, then triggers the flammability of the molecule. Because the lower flash point, the higher the flammability. So meaning to say, if these are all hydrocarbons, meaning to say automatically they are non-polar. Because there are equal sharing of electrons. For example, if I have LNG, liquefied natural gas, or the methane gas, okay, I will show you the explanations to this. Okay, so everything is not a magic. There's a technical reason. Okay, why it is flammable. Okay, what should I call it? It's not magic. It's have science explanation, in which we cannot argue, and we cannot also fight, because that is done a long time ago by our chemists, physicists, through experimental evidences. Okay? All we have to do is to confirm in our science laboratories if we are in the school, but it is noted to be correct. Okay? So, same story. Okay? Like that. So we have experiments in our science subjects just to prove the validity of the information that the books reflected on that particular theory, right? So that we have experiments in the lab. That's really to really confirm the validity of the statements of our previous scientists, chemists, physicists, astronomers, and everything. Okay? You get the point? Nutshell. Okay. So I will show you, this is a methane, CH4, okay? So this is the carbon, 4 bonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. So hydrogen here, hydrogen here, hydrogen here, hydrogen here. So equally distributed. So there's no excess electrons left. All are being shared. So this is covalent bonding. Equal sharing of electrons, covalent bonding, is called non-polar covalent bonding. After the transfer and sharing of electrons, and there is no excess and unpaired electron after the structuring of the chemical formulas, something like that. And that is represented well by the Mr. Lewis. That's why we have Lewis gas structures, theory of acidity and basicity with respect to the sharing and the transfer of electrons. So that's why hydrocarbons are non-polar. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say propane. Okay, C3H8. Is this polar or not polar? We need to prove. Okay, so carbon 3. So 1, 2, 3. Hydrogen 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as you can see, there's no excess electrons from carbon. It is totally shared to the hydrogen atoms. So therefore, this is a non-polar covalent bond and a flammable compound. Okay, so if we say non-polar, automatic flammability comes in. Okay, if flammability comes in our neurons and our brain cells, automatically flash point will be there in our analysis. Why? We will say that it's flammable or not, right? It's gonna be like that. Now, the polarity is another thing. It has not to do something regarding the flammability issues or unshared electrons like that. So, you know, the point of other thing is of electricity. I need to, like water. Okay, there's no unshared electrons here, right? Okay, perfect. So, equal sharing of electrons, non-polar covalent bonding. Please remember that chemical engineering students, okay? Because sometimes it will come out to the board examination. You get the point? Only the basic really, guys. You don't have to worry about complexity of the theories and the principles. It's only your mind and perception that makes it difficult, really. Okay? But admittedly, the problem solving is a little bit difficult, of course, right? But you know, generally it's not totally difficult. Okay? It's only the pressure that makes it difficult. I mean, so many information in our brains, so sometimes we forget like this, it's lost. Okay, then all you have to do is to increase your, what we call this hormone for the memory, choline hormone. So keep on eating eggs. Okay, eggs and milk and peanuts in your study. Okay, because peanuts are good for the memory, for the mood, and the intelligence. Okay, milk, eggs, peanuts, fish. Okay, for the memory, like that. Okay, do not eat meat prior to board examination. Joke lang. Okay, because I'm talking about memory kasi, right? You got the point? Nakakandok ka. Okay, because these are the hormones for the memory. Okay, got the point? Ganon. Alangan man, bukaon og mga sweet, the cortisol hormone is very high. Ice cream. And then prior to your board examination, cortisol is very high, and this is really not good. This is a stress hormone. Then you will forget. Okay? So that's why I told you, it's better to incorporate medical science subjects in all types of courses because it matters a lot. Because the students have an idea. Or for example, if you eat more of the sweet food prior to examination, it will forget something because this cortisol hormone are stress hormones. Then if you don't have an idea, then you will keep on eating ice cream prior to the examination. You don't know what's the causes of being forgetful at the time. Okay, because of the food you eat also matters a lot. Okay, you got the point. Even though you study a lot, then prior to board examination or any examination, you eat a lot of food, that lowers your memory. Even though you study a lot. It doesn't say, ay, nakalimot ko na, wala sa una. It's not. There's a reason behind why it's being, retained in your brain. It depends on the food and liquid substances you intake prior to the examination. Not only that how smart you are, how intelligent you are. No, it's not bugo. It's not like that. It depends on the substances and liquid substances we input into our system. The nutrients, like that. That's why they said, if you have good nutrients, the chance is your children have a very good memory. Because it matters a lot to the nutrients and the vitamins that you feed to your child also. Aside from the genes. The genes is a factor, but what I'm talking, there's another also factor based on the food we eat. Ganon! At least we know. So that we can buy this food so that the brain functions of our children will be intensified and enhanced through the food and liquid substances they eat, right? That is the case if the parents knows how to validate what science information, but things also not like that. They will rely also to the instructors in school. Because they are parents, they don't teach anymore. That's wrong. You have to teach also, even if you are not a teacher. You will, because you know, home or family is the basic unit in the society. You should also teach first on hand prior to the teachers. Okay, you got the point, Anna. We should not rely completely to the teachers and the instructors. Okay, because it's totally different if they are paid just to do that or not paid. You just do that for the accomplishment and fulfillment because that is your child. Okay, you got the point. They are doing that because they receive salary after teaching, but it's not the same. That is your really that's your child really. That comes from your genes. Then you need to protect that child when he grow up, she grow up. So teach properly, okay, about science. But the problem also maybe the parents don't have enough knowledge. That's the question also. Okay, but it's okay. Just guide the children properly when they grow up. Okay, like that. So that they will not be tempted to any any vices or any delinquency activities. Okay, that push them to be lazy, like going to the cinema, going to the party, drinking alcoholic beverage, like that, doing karaoke every time. Me, I also do karaoke, but I only do that one time in a week. Okay, like that, because all people deserves to be happy, something like that. But if it is too much, that is not good already. It will eat up your time. Instead, you will study. You get the point? Ganon. Diba? So I don't know how. Maybe also if you have so many money also when I was in college, maybe I can also be like them. But it happens really that we are having scarcity or supply with money. Okay, that's why I cannot go with them because I will be ashamed, something like that, because I don't have enough to buy, let's say, burger when they take their snacks. That's why it's better for me to go to the library so that I will not, my saliva will not come out in my mouth. Get the point? Maglaway lang po. So it's better for me to study rather than going with them. They eat a lot of good food there in the snacks. Okay? Like, because mostly are having, that much because most of the students are also son from Najikaya ba. Okay, and then like that, okay? Mga yutaan sa Mindanao, school like CIT, and whatever. Like that, so lahi jud kwartahan jud sila, guys. Okay? You got the point? Ganon! It doesn't mean that Cebuanos are not kwartahan. It's just happening in our status of living. Okay? In me lang. Okay? For me, as my confession, not for other Cebuanos. Because there are also Cebuanos are rich also, or above average status of life. It happens only in my status that we don't have that much. That's why instead of going with them, I don't have enough money, I will just study in the library. Like that, okay? I will just do my assignment. Like that, okay? And then I will just solve problems in math there inside the library. Okay? So, things like that. Okay? Because I don't have also, maybe if the case is not also me, I will be going with them also. Okay? Maybe, not sure. Okay? Because the situation is different. Okay, you got the point. Anak siya. Nakakaloka. Sige naman, sige sa kulkutan ako sini. Right? But, it's not really my attitude to be like that also. Starting from elementary. I am really known to be academically competitive. Okay? Since elementary, high school, and college. Okay? So, even siguro na kay kwarta, still, the attitude and culture of being studious will be there. Studious talaga. Diba? Nakakaloka mga palaga kumitag. Okay, ganon. Okay, mabalik na sa atong kinaagman. Charot. Okay. So that's gonna be like that. I told you it's very difficult to erase. Charot. Okay, nakakaloka, diba? Uy, it's too hard, right? Ay! Charis. Okay. So, introduce ko rin yung trans fats. Uy. Okay, like that. Ako na i-change yung palmitic. Uy, taas kayo yung steric. Okay. Okay, palmitic acid. Okay. 6 atoms of carbon, hydrogen, 34 atoms, and 2 atoms of oxygen. You mean to say this is the oil or the acids of, palm tree. Okay? Kasi palm oil kasi palmitic acid, right? Okay, so 16 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? So, I need to have, trans fats have only one double bond in the carbon number 8. Okay, one, here, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, carbon number 8 is a double bond here. Okay, like that. Now, in the trans, guys, the hydrogen will be like this. Okay. Like this is the trans fats already. Okay, you got the point. Ana. So there will be attachment here of some other molecules. There will be attachment of some other molecules also here. Okay, you got the point. You get the point, mga palangga, guys. This is the non-polar molecules will attract to the polar molecules. That's always the rule. Okay, the negative and the negatively charged particles or ions and the positively charged particle ions. So it's in here will react to the edge, like a diagonal positioning. So this is trans fat. Okay, this is now becoming bad to the health. Okay, even though there's a double bond, but you know, there's no equality on the bending, something like abnormality of the bending, something like that. Okay, this is the trans fats. Okay, ganon. Muna siya. And then the other positioning is the Cis, C-I-S. So the H will be here na talaga. Mubilang kadra siya. Ana. So this is the Cis orientation. The Cis orientation is not bad, ha? Just like oleic acid, linoleic acid, like that. So in the trans fat, only the orientation will matter. Okay, there's a single bond in the carbon 8 and the carbon number 9. Starting the counting from carbon right. Okay, like that. And the ana siya. So the more you will do the counting of the carbon in the left, the more it has become healthy to our health. The omega thing, omega 3, omega 5, omega 6, omega 9, ganon. So if we start the right counting in our, in our naming, then it is not good. But most of the, unsaturated will count at the left. Okay, not on the right. Ana nila siya, guys, right, hindi kumukuan. Ano na siya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, 8. Okay. 8, 9. Ganon. Then, pila ka buok. Then, 16. Okay, like that. So, may ka nga. Octa, nano, decanoic acid. Okay. Is the another term of trans fat by naming. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 stops here in between 8 and so 8, 9 because the double bond is in the 8, 9 carbon. So 8, 9 octa. Okay, octa because 8. Okay, nano is 9. Again, the prefixes I told you will always comes in science. The one I teach you, memorize everything about prefixes from 10 to the 1 to 10 to the 18, 10 to the negative 1 to the negative 18, the terminology, okay? It's in here, right? Octa, nano, decanoic acid. Okay? Ganon. So, hindi pala siya Dodi, sorry. Dodi because this is more than 12. Okay? 12 is Dodi. Okay? Dodi ang iyang prefix. Okay, got the point. Wait ha. Methane, ethane, propane, butane, octane, nonane, heptane, pentane, octane, nonane, okay, denane, dodenane. Okay, this is dodenane actually. Okay, dodenane. Dode means 12 carbon atoms. 10 means D. Okay, denane, or 12 carbon atoms. Okay, hepta is 7, nano is 9. There's nano here, diba? Carbon number 9. Okay, octa, carbon number 8. But the overall, naming is dodecanoic acid. Dodecanoic acid. Okay, ganon. Okay. Wait ha. Okay, ganon. This is okay, guys, ang naming guys. That's why we need to avoid that also in the, in the food products. You can never see this writing in the sardines, writing this in the olive, because this is not very practical to write, only for the theory in passing the subject, something like that, okay? But the general really matters and the structural formula. Anak pala na siya guys, 8, 9 octan nano dodecanoic acid. Dodecanoic acid. Why? Because there's double bond. So there's E and E. Right? So octanano dodecanoic acid. Diba? Basta na mo ba E and E mo na siya guys, E and E, right? So ipasok mo na sa banga diri sa iyang pag-name. So E and E, oh dira, oh hade. Ya, dudi pa man jud siya. Dudi. Oh, so ano siya? 8 octanano dodecanoic acid. Yaoy, nakakaloka. Diba? Duding. Okay, sakto. Okay? Octanano dodecanoic acid. Okay? Okay, now may double bond wood. Okay? If triple bond also here, it will become 8, 9 octanano dodecanoic acid. So Y and E na po siya, kaya triple bond lang siya. Okay? That's why we need to avoid this naming ha. Because you know, but let you understand. Okay? Like this. Nakakaloka. Di ba ang hirap? Okay, so hindi siya preparable, okay? Even though in the multivitamins, okay, they don't put this type of naming, ha? Okay, and also in the glycerol, propane 1,3-triol. Okay, that's also another name of glycerol. Okay, an alcohol found in wine, beer, whiskey, like that, okay? Because ethyl alcohol will be converted later to glycerol. Okay. You get the point. Of course, ethyl alcohol is the first alcohol. Then back it will be converted to glycerol. Get the point? Ganon. Guys, ano mo? I-raise weight? Kakaloka. Mag-apply with the force. Force to the highest level. Diba? Hay! Kakaloka, kapoy. Kuha na yung kayo siya. Kaya ko ng green char. Okay, diba? Ganon. Okay. So, kung natay fatty acids, guys, no. Anak na yun siya ay. Sa anak siya, guys, no. Ako ito discuss ninyo ba? Diba sa Uy! So, duha siya, guys. Nasa yung polarity ang sa tumoy. Nasa siya ng polar sa kilid-kilid. Okay? Mapindi lang yun yung polarity. Yes. Because, dako kay kuan molecular weight ang sa non-polarity. Sa fatty acids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's say palmitic acid. Okay. And there's a carboxylic fatty acid here. Okay. Double bond oxygen. OH. I will explain. Okay, like this. So this is the part of your fats or the carboxylic acid. So this part, guys, is polar for the fats. Polar. Actually, this is not totally non-polar. But what had happened, there are so many carbon and hydrogen linkage in the right that is really non-polar. Okay, that's why it will become non-polar na in effect. Mapildi ang yung polarity. You get the point? Because if you count here from carbon 3 to carbon 16, carbon 3 to carbon 16, there's a lot of linkage of hydrogen. Then get the molecular weight in that. Compare to your fatty acids there, here, the COOH. So, this is lesser compared to this. That's why the non-polarity will win. Non-polarity. So, that's why we will say, fatty acids is a non-polar because of that concept. But actually, there's also polarity in the fatty acids part. Then the usage of this one is to react to other chemicals. Let's say the glycerol, the alcohol, like that, but never on the alkyl. Okay, it will never react for the alkyl part, the non-polarity. Of course, that is non-polar, so it's very difficult to react. Okay, it's always in the polarity, here, because there's an excess electrons. You get the point here, non-polarity. So, completely shared na siya yung pasok sa banga. Okay, so it's not really advisable that you will react the other components here. Okay, what is the example for this mga palangga kung kita? You have the glycerol. Okay, so alcohol plus fatty acids is equal to the salt and water. So this is gonna be a dehydration or the esterification reaction in organic chemistry. Why is this dehydration? Wait, I have to prove why dehydration. Like this. So we need to say literally, it's not really the removing of water. That's also dehydration, but that's another thing through the process. For example, you are dehydrated, it's removal of your water. So we have also the same concept here in the chemical reaction. The substances has removed water during the chemical reaction. That's another also principles. Do not understand it literally that dehydration na magkalibang ka, magawas imong tubig. That's also dehydration, but we have also another dehydration in terms of chemical reaction. Okay, you get the point. That's why I never use most of the time dehydration. I will just use, the hydrolysis reaction, esterification reaction, like that, so that it's easy to, to manipulate. Charot! Manipulate, Jude. Okay. Ana, sige. Sugod na. Hagbar ako isugod. Char. Okay. Ana, dayon. Charot. Okay. So, ayaw mo galibog guys. Sana na siya misconception also. Gray meaning confusion part because sometimes we say glycerin. Okay. Now we have also glycerol. Right? Lactic acid. Pyruvic acid. Hyaluronic acid, hyaluronate, something like that. It looks like in organic chemistry, the salt also is an acid. You got the point? Unlike in organic chemistry, when we say acid, that's already acid, not a salt already. But in organic chemistry, the salt can be an acid at the same time. You got the point? Okay, for example, cholesterol. Okay. Cholesterol. Okay. This is discovered by, Michelle Eugene, di ba? Like that, Chevrolet in 1816. She said that this is the cholesterol, the cholesterol. Cholesterol by spelling and by sound, it's not the same, right? Because this ends in INE and cholesterol ends also in OL. Then why it has the same chemical formula? Because the organic chemistry speaks and said the salt will be just equal to like this in special situations. But not all, but there are also. Okay, you get the point? So cholesterol is cholesterol. Okay, like that. You get the point? Glycerol is glycerin also. Okay, glycerin. Okay, ganon. Okay, like that. Okay, di ba pareho siya? Okay, glycerin, glycerol, cholesterol, like that. The same thing na siya ang formula. Okay, another thing is talking about the salt. Okay, say pyruvate. Okay, pyruvate. Okay, so pyruvate is C3H4O3, right? Formula. So this is also pyruvic acid. Okay, let's say lactate. Lactate is C3H6O3. This is also the lactic acid formula, but not the function, I mean, the chemical formula. Okay, lactic acid. Of course, normally it will function as an acid. What I mean is the chemical formula. Okay. Like this. Okay. Okay, what else? Hyaluronic. What's hyaluronic? Hyaluronic is a liquid that if you try to inject that in your nose bridge, your nose will become high for the nose surgery. Okay, nose lift. Okay, in a nose lift, you will put chemical hyaluronic acid to increase the height of your nose. That is used in non-surgical operations. Okay, like that. So that is costly, around 20,000 to 30,000 pesos in the Philippine money. And then the durability and the validity reach to 6 months and 1 year. And after that, you will inject again. Okay, but the surgical is another thing. You have to put silicone based in order you will elevate your nose lift. You will put silicone base so that because silicone is very stretchable, something like that. And after 1 year also, you have the maintenance of the medicine so that it will retain the shape for the nose lift people or mga retokada or retokado. You get the point? Ganon. Okay, that is hyaluronate. Hyaluronate. Okay, mo na siya ang formula niya mga palangga. C6H10O7. Okay, so it's the same also with hyaluronic acid. Okay, so as you can see, wow, the salt also an acid in the formula, but not necessarily the function. Okay, you got the point. This stays. Okay, so there's still a lot, not only that. Okay, you got the point mga palangga kulitan. So that's exemptions. I need the exemptions. Okay, ganon, erase. Okay, balik akong kabatuuran. Charot! Okay. Anak siya. Okay, sa lipid pa man tanong. Taas kayo siya guys, no? Mutong oras do. Bakit siya kayo? Yes. Diba? Nakakaloka. Muhaman ang tanong pati asa. Ano na punta sa kuan guys? Ano na punta sa phospholipids? Okay, manata sa fatty acid ha. Okay. Check. Oh, fatty acid, check. Oh, phospholipids. Okay, phospholipid is also a fat. Okay. What is the function of a phospholipid, mga palangga kong hitad? Okay. This is the major component of the cell membrane. The cholesterol is not the major, it's only the structural component of the cell membrane. But phospholipid is the major talaga siya. Okay, you got the point. But the same. Okay, like that. You get the point. And then the second function will be the vital function in creating a cellular barrier. So that not all substances will go directly to our vital organs. It will be filtered out. What is good, what is bad, blah, 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 so and so. Okay, that's also the function of the phospholipids. That's why I told you, phospholipids are being put in the vitamins and in the multivitamins. Every time you take that. Because that's the purpose. Di siya magpataka ba? Di siya magpatakag sod. Di siya magpatakag gawas. It should be regulated in the cell membrane. That's why they put the ingredient phospholipid. Check that on all multivitamins and vitamins, there is always phospholipids in there. Okay, just to protect our cell membrane. Okay, due to the fact that these vitamins also are not really that natural. You get the point? This is not really natural. Imagine you will make the covering of the capsule. It looks like a plastic, right? And it will be dissolving inside your body. That's not already 100% natural. Okay, the 100% natural is the highly organic fruits and vegetables you buy on the market, in which you wash them and eat them to receive the nutrients and vitamins equal to the nutrients and vitamins you receive in buying food supplements, vitamins, and multivitamins. You got the point. But the only issue is these multivitamins and food supplements have higher content compared to the fresh foods you buy in the market, because your money also will not be enough like that. It needs a lot of milligrams, okay, to equal to the nutrients and vitamins you will gain in this food supplements, vitamins, multivitamins. But with respect to how it is being manufactured, okay, multivitamins and vitamins is not natural as fresh fruits and vegetables, but the same nutrients and vitamins. Get the point? Another issue of the multivitamins and vitamins, you need to maintain that after 60 years old. because your adaptive immunity, always find that. Then what if you don't have savings in the bank and your children will not give you money and you have no work at all? You cannot maintain that medicine. You get the point? But if you rely on fruits and vegetables, you don't trust, there's no such adaptive immunity regarding to that. Whether you like it or not, you can eat or not like that. So there's no maintenance. Okay, but the leveling is also less compared to the multivitamins when you get it. You get the point? Like that. Okay, so the issue of money will be just the same, but mas mahal jud, expensive multivitamins and food supplements if I try to compare to the fruits and vegetables. Because another issue also, okay, because there are lazy people. They don't want to go to the to wash the the fruits, open the skin. That's why they will chop, put in their esophagus with water kalas. Okay? Because they are very busy in their work. That's also the advantage of multivitamins and supplements. So there are a lot. They are both have advantage and disadvantage. Something like that. You got the point. Ana siya. Okay, so it depends on you how to balance it. But for me, I will go to the main point. The nutrients and the vitamins that I will be extracted from it. Okay, and the side effects too. Okay, so it could not be denied these vitamins and multivitamins sometimes have side effects also to other substances you eat. So there's an instructions clearly in the packaging that do not drink while you are eating this. So there's a lot of pakulo when you eat that, when you intake that kind of vitamins. So that's also another issue for the multivitamins, vitamins, and the food supplement. Ganon. But in the fresh fruits and no need, there's no side effects. As long as you will control it, you know already what's the nutrients and vitamins, then you need to control it adequately in your intake, then there's no problem, there's no side effects that much compared to the capsules, the food supplements also. Because it's the same thing. The nutrients and vitamins in the fresh foods are only taken due to the experimental analysis in the laboratory, put to this food supplement. It will just be the same, okay? But the milligrams are high, something like that for this food supplements. There's an issue also of, of course, if they will not go to the market all the time, it's better to put the capsule in their esophagus, kalas, and water, sleep. Like that. For the fruits, getting the skin, like that, washing, and then fruits fresh. Ganon. So it depends on you na talaga. You get the point? Ganon. Okay, we have phospholipids function. Okay. Another function of the phospholipid also, aside from the two I mentioned a while ago, it's also aid in the transportation and in the movement of vitamins and nutrients and other fat-containing molecules into our body from different vital organs. Specific locations where to go. Okay, this nutrient will go to the kidney. This nutrient and vitamins will go to the liver. Distribution, that is also the function of phospholipid. Transport, like a vehicle. Okay, for example, I will go to the city. My transport is a car. The car is my phospholipid. Something like that. Imagine how important, right? Okay, so things like that. So it would act as a transportation of these nutrients and vitamins to go to the specific area of responsibility in which these vital organs needs the most. Ganon. Okay, so that's very clear for the phospholipid. In short, let's have an acronym of MVA. Motor vehicular accident. No, it's not. During your memorization, okay, so that you can understand. Okay, M, you will say like that, major, V. That's what I've done in the Bush examination. You say V, okay, like that. You need to troubleshoot the first letter. Vital, okay. A. Only remember the first terminology, and then the whole sentence will be put in your brain cells, kalas. Okay, during memorization, acronyms will help you do that for easy and faster memorization. You get the point? Okay, of course you have to understand first and then you memorize. Because if you memorize plainly, it will be lost in your brain cells later on. Okay? So understand first, memorize by acronym. Okay? You get the point? So you have that basis, and then you can change the words later. If it is a verb, for example, it's a movement, you will change transport. Okay? Vital, essential. Okay, ganon. Unsa man A. So A, help or assist. Like that. So another one. Aid the movement of the vitamins. Now you say help or assist in the movement. You will change now the words in your own as long as you understand what is that all about. The technique of memorization. You get the point. So at least you are good in English and at the same time you are good in science and in math. You have only to be good in 3 actually. Okay? You get the point? Anak siya. Well, sakto na kag-computer, okay na. As long as you can encode, you can make reports. Right? It doesn't have to be brilliant in computer. Okay? As long you can make the report, PowerPoint, Word, kalas, tables, graphs, kalas, the basic only. But fortify it with English, science, and math. Okay? Perfect. Ganon siya. Pasok sa banga. Okay? Like that. So, okay, ubang mga subjects, puno-puno na siya. Okay, you get the point. Phospholipid. What's that formula of phospholipid? Oh my gosh. Since this is a fact, we need to say, this is hydrophobic. So by the way, before going further guys, we need to classify muna ha, para masabtan nyo nato. What are the 2 types of, solubility? Okay? See, 2 types of solubility. Okay? You get the point? Okay. When we mean of solubility, it involves solute and a solvent. Okay? Like that. When we see dilution, it is a process of involving more solvent than solute, or all are solvents. Okay? When we mean of concentration, more of solute, less of solvent. Something like that. So dilution and concentration. It's under solubility. Okay, you get the point. Then how to classify? According to their boiling point, density, like that, blah, 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 so and so. Okay, first we need to consider how it is being dissolved, insolubility, soluble, okay, and insoluble. Okay, this is very easy because this is only English. Okay, putting in meaning the opposite of nothing. So it's soluble, the insoluble meaning that is not dissolving. Okay? Like for example, complete, incomplete. By adding in, that is not complete. That is the grammar in English. We have to put in, meaning nothing, removal. Okay, like that. Okay. Competent, incompetent. By adding in the opposite of competent. You are not competent. So that's English, right? The same story also in science. You have to put in and nothing for that, something like that. Okay, so soluble, insoluble, meaning that is not soluble. So something like that, you got the point. And then in terms of the layers, L-A-Y-E-R-S, the division of the layer. You know the layer? The going up and down. It talks about the density. Meaning the higher density will go down and the less density will go up. Just like mixing oil and water. Things like this, right? It will never be completely dissolved. So it's gonna be like that, okay? So, what will be happening is, okay, if it is really doing the layer mixing, so that is miscible, okay? If it is not, the layer will separate, okay, will separate the layer just like let us say a suspension of oil and water, okay? You get the point? So it's gonna be like suspension the term because the oil will suspend down, okay, and the water will go up. That's why suspension from the word suspend, something like that. In terms of the oil, okay, like that, and the water, something like that. Okay, the term will be obvious, okay, suspension. So the other one is suspended. Okay, so the one that is being suspended is the oil because it is heavier than the water. It's correct or not? Which is having higher density, the water or an oil? So if you're not sure, compute it. Okay, like that. But based on your observation, what will goes up, the oil or the water? So okay, things like that. Okay, ganon, diba? Okay, or you can experiment that in actual just to prove the validity of our philosophy and convection. Okay, or belief. Charot. Okay, so miscible, meaning to say immiscible. Okay. Meaning immiscible, it will separate different layers. Okay? Like that. But miscible will next. But that is not in terms of solubility. But solubility because of concentrations. Okay? You get the point. Okay? So, it's gonna be like that. Okay? Ganon. Soluble, insoluble, miscible, immiscible. Now, in terms of organic chemistry, there is other way of saying that categorically. So, we have hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Okay? Hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Okay, ganon. Our basis here is water because the word hydro stands for water. For example, hydrosphere. It is the region in the planet Earth where it involves water. That's hydro. Hydrostatic pressure, meaning it's water under the pressure of static pressure. Water, okay? Hydraulic, meaning water also. The word hydro speaks for itself. Hydrogenation, the reaction in chemical reaction that we add hydrogen. Dehydrogenation reaction is the chemical reaction in which we remove the hydrogen because the word D. Okay, it's gonna be like that. You get the point? Okay, so hydrophobic and hydrophilic. Hydro is water. Okay, phobic in English. What is phobic? We need to investigate first so that we can understand the terminology. So phobic meaning you have a phobia on that. This is a fear of something. For example, you have a fear of the height, you have a fear of the water, like that, meaning phobic or phobia. Okay? So that the term here, phobic. So we need to say, hydrophobic, fear of water. Okay? Because phobic is phobia, and phobic, if you attach the two words. So fear of water, meaning to say, substances that is not really reacting to water because they have the fear to react. So that is hydrophobic. Or in short, they are the substances that is insoluble to water or immiscible to water, as what I discussed a while ago. Okay? So meaning to say, when we say hydrophobic, it brings the two characteristics of being immiscible and being also insoluble. Okay, now we go to the hydrophilic. Again, water is our basis. Philic means not an attraction. It is an attraction, the reverse of fear. So philic means attraction, okay, reaction, magnet, okay, reacting, combining, union, like that, okay, but combining. So there's a lot of terminologies in English to be applied, okay, so philic. So these substances also that will react, associate, combine, in union, react, like that to water, meaning they are not afraid to water. Okay, this is the opposite of phobia or phobic, something like that. So meaning to say, they attract to water, meaning to say, they are soluble and miscible to water. These are hydrophilic substances. Now, organic compounds have that characteristics, whether it is a hydrocarbons or not. So it's not totally the same in organic chemistry. Now, we do not usually deal with its terminologies. You get the point? It doesn't matter whether it attract to water or not. The terms will be just only soluble and soluble, things like that. But in organic chemistry, there's a higher degree of the terminologies. Hydrophobic and hydrophilic, something like that. Okay? Ganon. Any questions so far? So that we can understand. Okay, now going back to the phospholipid. Okay, now we will classify now the hydrophobic, the hydrophilic, ganon. Okay, you get the point. So, again, break the words. Nakakaloka. Phospho. Phospho meaning coming from the phosphate. Okay? And the lipid coming from the fats family. Okay, like that. So, klaro kayo pasok sa banga. You have to add phosphate group in the lipid or the fatty acids. Okay, you got the point. Anak siya mga palangga ng hitan. Okay, now we need to have an example now. So, for example, we have here like this. Okay, tararat, tararat, ganon. Okay. Tararat, tararat, ganon. Naiikog diri ari. Ikog, ikog, like this. This is all about just like our sperm cell. Okay, like that. Because the sperm cell, egg cell, like that, okay, are following the characteristic of a lipid or a fat. You get the point? Ganon. Okay, so this is gonna be the fatty acids here. Okay, I will label his fatty acid. But be careful. In phospholipid mga palangga, kung hitad, 2 fatty acids already is attracting, not necessarily 3. Okay, it's not the same thing with triglycerides that you need to comply the 3 fatty acids to react with 1 glycerol. But in here, in the phospholipid, the requirement is only to have 2 fatty acids plus 1 glycerol plus the phosphate group, which is also 1, something like that. Okay, you get the point. So this is our fatty acids here. Okay, Fa, ganon. So this is what we call the tail, the eco tail. Okay, ganon. So the eco classify na hydrophilic, hydrophobic. Okay, fatty acids. What did I told you about fatty acids? Okay, there are more on the not dissolved. So meaning hydrophobic. The tail is hydrophobic. Okay, hydrophobic. Okay, like that. And the head, we're talking about phospholipid. The head is hydrophilic. Because phosphates in organic salts are soluble to water. Phosphates are not organic, it's more on inorganic salts. Okay, so this is hydrophilic. Okay, you get the point. Okay, though we have also here the glycerol, but you know, the phosphate is higher than the glycerol here. Okay, that's why hydrophilic, the head. Okay, and then also, the glycerol also are not really that kind of hydrophobic also. Okay, get the point? So, magputang ka direct fatty acids. And kanimo sa fatty acid here, move bend. Because the other one is unsaturated fat and the other one is saturated fat or SFMUF. Ganon. So, grabe pala yung phospholipids, no? Yeah. Okay, now we have here the glycerol. So, glycerol, I told you, memorization. C3H8O3. Then there are 3 OH. So, kung carbon din yung ara. Okay, ganon. So, oxygen, ganon. Yung mo rin ibungkag. C, ano din yung pagkuhan niya. So, C, double bond oxygen. Ganon. Here. Okay? So, imo siyang ibana-bana. So, ato siyang react sa, okay, this one is polar part of the fatty acid. Okay? Ato siyang react dito. So, we have C, like that, ganon. Okay. So, the glycerol, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay. The other carbon of the glycerol have no attraction, ha? Okay? Because only 2 raman ito gigamit niya, ana, gayuna. Okay. So, 1H here, 1H here, like that. Okay, so single bond, carbon, double bond, oxygen, H. So meaning to say, guys, the H and the OH, like that, for the fatty acids will react for also the acidity here in the glycerol. Okay, and the OH in the glycerol. OH and the OH of the fatty acids will react to form H2O. Okay, see? And then there will be a removal of water. Okay? That's why I told you, dehydration. Removal of water in this chemical reaction. Okay. Now we have the second also carbon here. Okay? Like that. Ganon. Tararat. Hydrogen. Tararat. Ganon. Tararat. Okay. The other one, hydrogen here. Tararat. Ganon. Okay? Tararat. Ganon. So, oxygen. Ganon. Okay? Just understand the functional group. Don't memorize. Understand the functional group because it will create confusion if you will plainly memorize. Because the point, anak siya. Okay, phosphorus here, double bond oxygen here, okay, like that. Tararat, tararat, ganon. So the oxygen will react to here. Okay? Like to the OH of this glycerol. Okay? Because the phosphate have oxygen. Okay? Phosphate is PO4 3 negative, right? Like that. So, ganon. There are 4 oxygens. Oh, 4 oxygens. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 phosphorus, 1 phosphorus. That's why it will react to the OH in the glycerol. Ganon. In the polarity, also connected or corner of the glycerol. Something like that. Okay, ganon. So, ano siya? Okay. So, since the phosphate group, then this is hydrophilic. Okay, the head. Okay. We need to say, phospholipid has the head and has also the tail. Okay. To summarize, the head will be hydrophilic and the tail will be hydrophobic. Something like that. You get the point? Ganon. So, understand the situation, guys, ha? Okay. Now, if that is hydrophobic, the tail, don't you think the phospholipid can escape directly to our digestive system? Because our digestion is more on the water. Okay, and you said the tail is hydrophobic. Okay, so meaning not miscible or insoluble. So the more we need another substance to push them out, not only water. Get the point? Okay? Ganon. Oh, di ba? Like that. Get the point, mga palangga kong hitad. Okay. Now, that's why we need the lecithin. Okay, the lecithin to move these fats to different organs where it needs the most. Okay, that's why this lecithin can lowers the cholesterol level. So where can we find this lecithin also? Okay, so it can be manufactured also inside our body, or the same thing as an essential also we can buy in the market. Just like the glutathione, the vitamin C, or food supplements, like the 2 versions also. Okay, if your lecithin is not enough, then that's the time also you have so many cholesterol in your body because it's not, nobody will push these fats to go out because of the reason is water is not enough. You get the point? The tail of these fat substances are very heavy, cannot react to the water. That's why it will not go directly to our excretory system to remove the wastes coming from the fats. It needs another substance to push them easily going out to our excretory system. Okay, the vagina, the penis, and the anal or the anus. So these are the excretory releasing, the duct or opening of every individual. So that's the issue. That's why most of the time they will stuck in the blood vessels. Okay? Aside from that, if you don't have also exercise, because if you will exercise, the oxygen circulation will be good and there will be a proper blood flow circulation, then it's easy for the fats to move out even though there's no another push of other substances through natural process. Okay? Rather than buying also lecithin, that means you are not having your exercise. Or your lecithin is already enough to push that cholesterol. But it's better to do the exercise because it will just remove by natural, right? No, you don't need to buy something. You get that? But if you don't buy something, and it will become higher cholesterol because it keeps on depositing because this fat is insoluble and indissoluble with water. That's the issue. Okay? So this is not, that's why vitamin D, okay, vitamin D and vitamin A, okay, are fat soluble. So it's easy for them to go along with the fats, okay? So it will be carried out, okay? And this vitamin B and vitamin C is water soluble also. So there's no problem in releasing that in our excretory system, okay? Because that is soluble to water. Okay, so vitamins could either be soluble to water and soluble to fats. Okay, you got the point, anak siya mga palangga. Okay? Okay, kung mingon kang soluble to fats, automatic, insoluble siya sa water. Diba? Sakto ba? Okay, ang nga mo pagsagot. Okay, you got the point, anak siya. Okay, so muna may kabudri aring kayo na. Okay, so that's the problem. That's why it will deposit as plaque, P-L-A-Q-E, and then problem with your artery during the pumping of the blood, something like that. So there will be no blood flow circulation properly, then it will become stuck there. Okay, and then it will become a blood clot. Okay, the blood clotting, something like that. You get the point, mga palangga kong hitad. Okay. But if you will just love to eat, fats that rich in eicosanoids, wow, nakakaloka na talaga. Eicosanoids, then your vasoconstriction there is very good. Nakakaloka. Eicosanoids is another fats also. Nakakaloka. Okay, that's highly technical. I cannot explain that far. Okay, you get the point. So this is only for phospholipids. Ganon. So tapos na ta sa phospholipids ha, mga palangga akong hitad. Now we go to, okay, the next will be steroids. Okay, steroids. So we have steroids, hormone. Ang pinakasikat rara is the testosterone hormone and the estrogen hormone and the cortisol hormone. Okay, like that. Nakakaloka, diba? Okay, steroid. Okay. Have you ever seen, when I classify the categories, I don't put the cholesterol because the cholesterol is under only steroid. Okay? Fat. As I told you, the cholesterol is a sterol. That's why it is biosynthesized steroid. Meaning to say, it can synthesize inside our body. You don't have to feed outside just to have the cholesterol. It's automatic inside our body. Okay? Meaning this is not essential. This is non-essential inside our body only. Okay, the cholesterol. Okay? Like that. Okay. So, steroid can be classified as cholesterol. Okay, ganon chupa-chucho. Cortisol. I love cortisol. Really. Okay? Nakakaloka. Okay, then we have the estradiol. Wow. So estradiol is the semen of the girls, equivalent to sperm cell. Is to men. Estradiol, we have the estrogen for women. Okay. Muna siya ang duga sa babae, ang estrogen or estradiol. Okay. Number 4, we have the testosterone. Is also called as testosterone, is also called as, the androgen. Okay? This is the sperm cell or ang duga sa lalaki. Okay, this is testosterone or androgen. Ganon. So these are the 4 types of steroids under the lipid family or the fats family. We have the cholesterol, cortisol, estrogen, and androgen. Ganon. Okay. So, it's very self-explanatory regarding these 3 and 4. Estrogen and estradiol is the female sex hormones of the women. Okay. Testosterone is also the male sex hormones of the man. Okay. You get the point? Ganon. Then there's an issue regarding the menstrual cycle and pregnancy on the women here. Okay. Because if they don't have adequate estradiol or their estrogen level also, so their menstrual cycle will be abnormal, something like that, and their pregnancy will not be developed well. There's a tendency that the baby produced is immature, like that, will not grow normally, something like that, okay? You get the point, and something inborn defects of the parts of the body, of the baby, something like that. If the estrogen is not also fully fertilized, something like that, okay? Okay, aside from the infertility or baog, something like that. Okay, for the testosterone and androgen, the issue also in the, development, I think both the same also, development of the hair, like that, the skin, okay, and the nails, like for the hair, so it is for the men, they will have the testosterone secreted or produced in the testes. Testes, just like an eggs. okay, underneath of your penis. There are two eggs there. The two eggs are relatively called the testes. Okay, this testes will produce the testosterone, androgen hormone. Okay, so if the level is also adequate, so this can also promote puberty stage. Okay, puberty stage at the age of 12 years old for men. Okay. For example, I am a singer. My voice before when I was a child is like a feminine. Okay, I can sing higher K. My voice is like a girl when I was a kid. I can sing Whitney Houston using my natural voice, just like Michael Jackson, like that. My voice. When I reached 12 years old, I could no longer hit naturally the pitch and the K of the, American divas, something like that. I use falsetto already because I cannot hit that by natural voice. The reason for that is biological. Okay? The puberty stage. Because of the testosterone at the age of 12 years old. Okay? So your voice will change. It will become thick, deep, like that. Instead of thin voice. Right? So most of the boys, very young age, very high voice, it will change later. Just like the TNT voice. After 13 years old, it will change. Because that is biological. You cannot deny this because this is science. Okay? You need to change the texture of your voice at the age of 12 years old above. That is puberty stage because of the testosterone hormone will be matured now. Something like that. Okay, the thickening of the voice, the growing of the hair. Okay, in example, the bulbul here at the bottom part, right? The bulbul, okay, the armpit here, the beard, dito, bangas, like that, and the hairy parts of your body is because of your testosterone hormone. Okay, that's the reason. Okay, like that. For that. For the women, as I told you, menstrual cycle, and the pregnancy, like that, blah, blah, blah. And the development of their sexual organ also, the same as with men. What I mean by the developmental of sexual organ? Meaning that the size will be enough, not little already. It will grow also. That's why I mean of, really developed. Right? Did you notice when you're 1 year old, the height of your penis is very small? Right? When you grow up, it becomes big. Vagina also is the same like that. That's because of the steroid hormone naturally. Okay? The testosterone and the estrogen like that. And also, not only for the hair, the skin, okay, and the nails like this. Okay? But also the height. That's why we grow up. We reach 4 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old. Because also of testosterone and also estrogen for girls. If no have like this, then problem. Okay? That's why we need cholesterol. Because this is the raw materials for our testosterone and estrogen. And basically, coming from triglycerides. Okay? When they broke up in the raw materials, after the bababas also. Okay, that's the point, ganon. But I love cortisol. I need to discuss cortisol well also, ha? Right, okay, we go to the cortisol hormone. Okay? Kung saan man siya cortisol, uy, nakakaloka. Hay nako. Okay, right, if I will draw anatomy, mag-anatomy ko na ta, guys. Anatomy. Okay? Like that. So, anatomy starting from, from the pineal gland, okay, the hypothalamus, you get the point, pituitary gland. Most of the hormones, guys, will be excreted in the pituitary gland, majority. It will manage the hormones, okay. And after that, we have the thyroid gland. I will never draw because I'm tired, okay. Thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, and then thymus. Then after that, the adrenal cortex. The adrenal cortex, it is in the adrenal gland. And after that, we have the pancreas and the kidney. Okay, these are all the endocrine glands. Okay, now, in the adrenal cortex, it will yield this cortisol, something like that. Okay, you get the point. Okay, cortisol hormone. This is the main baddest stress hormone. Okay, stress hormone that regulates, okay, the intake of food substances, liquids and solids such as carbohydrates, sugars, proteins, okay, lipids, nucleic acids, okay, everything about food. Now, if your cortisol hormone is not adequate level, magpataka na kang kaon. Something like that, okay? And then you cannot control. So we need to say, if you are eating too much sugar, and then you cannot control, there's something wrong with your cortisol hormone. Okay, during the communication with your neurons in your brain cells. Something like that. You get the point? There in the, what we call this one? In the action, the length of path between synapses and the dendrites, the parts of, the central nervous system. Okay, after the activation of the electrical signal. Okay, and these substances will push you to do this, to do that, eat more, eat less, eat more, eat less, like that. Now, if you are keep on eating junk foods, you cannot control. There's something wrong with your cortisol stress hormone. Then you need to control this one, meaning your cortisol hormone automatically signals a very adequate level. Something like that. So anything that you take in about the food and liquids, it has to do something with the neurotransmitters, chemical messengers, hormones called cortisol. Okay, because this is the main body stress hormone. Okay, we need to overcome the stress. That's it. It's called stress. The moment you will having the stress, that's the time you keep on eating, drinking, like that. Okay, you cannot control. You are becoming addictive. So this is a problem. Okay, and then another hormone will follow also, dopamine, serotonin, okay, endorphin, something like that. Okay, you got the point. Okay, so you need to know also the dopamine. The dopamine also will go to the central nervous system, also in the peripheral system, in the nervous system. Okay, like that. This is steroids. And now we go to another, number 4. I will never explain in details this. Okay. Uy, ako na kayo. Uy, nakaloka. Gusto ko explain do. In fairness. Okay. Number 5. Unsa man? Charot. Diba? Unsa may number 5? Uy. Charot. Okay. Okay, let's go 13. 13 is not common. So, I don't remember we studied this in, but based on my research now, I remember pala. It was being taught in our organic chemistry. Okay, terpenes. Okay, number 5. Okay, terpenes. Ganon. Okay. Okay. So, do you remember the styrene? Like that's a double band, right? Polystyrene in the manufacture of polymers and plastics industries, right? And then we have also, for example, polyethylene. Okay. So, these are double band. E and E, right? Okay. So, pag may example na yun, acetylene, acetylene, acetyl, because it is acetyl, okay? And then plus E and E, the double bond. That's why it becomes acetylene, gas cylinder. From functional group acetyl, okay, plus the E and E, one single bond. That's why acetylene. Okay, so we have also polyethylene. Polyethylene plastics. Okay. Polyethylene plastics, the HDPE and the LDPE. Okay? HDPE and the LDPE. The same also with cholesterol concept. Okay? High density polyethylene and low density polyethylene. Okay? These are also polymers and plastics. Right? And then we have also polyesters. Again, plastics. Okay, polyesters, ganon. And then polystyrene, okay, like that, like a chupa-chucho. Okay, so polystyrene, meaning to say your backbone will be styrene. 8 atoms of carbon and 8 atoms of hydrogen. Okay, that is styrene. So polystyrene means a group of C8H8 bonded together as a raw material of plastics and polymers. Okay. Not only that, you have also the polycarbonates or the carbonates used in manufacturing of the Tupperwares. Something like lunch bags, like this plastics also, hard plastics also in the, in your printer. The hard plastics are made of polycarbonates also. Okay? Like that. So these are plastics. Hard plastics or soft plastics. You get the point. And also the PVC. Okay, the polyvinyl chloride. Okay, polyvinyl chloride. Okay, you got the point. Ganon. PVC. Okay, so these are plastics. So the terpene is also related to this like this. But the only problem is belong to the fats family. Okay, or the lipid family. You got the point? Okay, ganon. Okay. Lipid. Para masabtan, lipid. Not litolapid. Okay, terpenes. So the first example for terpenes is isoprene. Okay, isoprene. So, isoprene. Okay. Number 2, mga palangakong hitag. Okay. Okay. Myrcene. Okay. Number 3, limonene. Okay. Number 4, beta-carotene. Okay, like this. Beta-carotene. You get the point? That's why, imagine guys ha, I will tell you the magic also for this. This is terpene, right? Belong to lipid family. But why there is beta-carotene? There's also limonene in terms of lemon juice. Okay, carotene is for carrots. Why? This is fruits. Okay, so we need to say, in organic chemistry, there are also substances belong to that family, but will have to be used in another application. You get the point? So not the same application with the others. Just like I told you before, cholesterol has an OH. Just like an alcohol, but it will not function as an alcohol. It will function as a cell membrane development in our vital organs. So things like this, okay? You got the point. So testosterone, it's not also a ketone family, just like acetone. The point, so it ends in O-N-E kasi eh. Okay? Testosterone, the same as acetone, right? But it will not function as a ketone group. It will function as a hormone. So things like that, okay? You got the point, mga palangga kong hitad, anak siya. Okay. So just like also inositol. Okay? Inositol is the isomer of glucose. Right? Things like that. Or dextrose in the patient of the hospital, the same formula. Right? And then it will not function also the same as dextrose. Okay? You got the point. It will function as a raw material for the production of different hormones also, such as the dopamine and the serotonin, something like that, and the balancing of your insulin level inside your body, the inositol. Okay, but that is a sugar, imagine. Okay, sugar is related to blood glucose, right? There's no question about it. But the dopamine hormone and the serotonin hormone, murag layo ra siya, right? But that is the function of inositol. Inositol is also C6H12O6, the same with dextrose and glucose. And the same also with fructose, mga palangga. The sugar found in the fruits, the same formula also with glucose, C6H12O6, meaning to say monosaccharides. You got the point? So, nga na siya ating timanan ha. The limonene, guys, okay, it's really a shocking point of view because this is more on the citrus fruits, but it is a lipid family. You get the point? Anak siya. Okay. Now, we need to determine the carbon atoms. Pwede tayong maglibog. Okay. Ganon. Okay. So, anak ni siya guys, mga palangga kong hitag. Okay. So, ang atong isoprene na siya 5 carbon atoms. Ang atong myrcene na siya 10 carbon atoms. Our limonene, 10 carbon atoms. And carotene, too much. 40 carbon atoms. Okay, like that. Okay, so meaning to say when you eat carrots, have beta carotene, meaning you are adding 40 atoms of carbon inside your body. Okay, but don't worry, it has vitamin A for the clarity of your vision, something like that. Okay, you get the point? Anak siya. So it's gonna be like that. Okay, so the formula of isoprene, anak siya, ganon. Like this, ganon. So here, ganon. Ganon ba yung gusto? Yes, ganon siya. And then yung version is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ganon. Okay, diba? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, carbon atom niya. Okay, ana rin siya. Okay? Ana, ganon. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, ganon. Sabihin mo, wala siya. Mag-represent sa carbon atom mga palang akong kita. Okay? Then ano na diri? Talalat, ganon. Talalat, ganon. Okay, talalat, ganon. Okay? And here also, talalat, So 3 double bonds in myrcene and 2 double bonds in isoprene because there's E and E. See? E and E. E and E. And also limonene also have E and E. And carotene also have E and E. Meaning to say, 13 is a group of double bonds compound. E and E. Like that. Okay, our limonene will be like this. There will be a one ring also. Ganon. Ganon. O, diba? Count the carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ganon. Okay? So, muna siya itong mga formulas. Okay? Ganon. Okay? So, actually, we can refer that also in your organic chemistry book, ha? To make it clear. Okay? With the point. Because I can have only the rough discussion and, the basic parts only. Okay, get the point mga pala napunta. So, manaka sa kuan, 13s. Okay, alita sa waxes. Okay? Waxes. The waxes, guys, for example, you floor wax, like that. What else? Beeswax are also lipid family. And they're fats. Imagine, and also the candles. The candles we have in our room, See, the application is not the same with the fats we have inside our body, right? But it's belong to lipid family also. You get the point that the formula of candle, so we have formula of candle. Any kind of candle we light, right, in our room, there are 31 atoms of carbon. Okay? 31 atoms of carbon and 46 atoms of hydrogen. So just like a hydrocarbon, composed of carbon and hydrogen only, but there are 31 atoms of carbon, 46 atoms of hydrogen, and that is a candle. Okay, you light the candle. Okay, how many atoms are in the candle? And nobody can answer. Okay, the answer for that is 31 atoms of carbon and 46 atoms of hydrogen. Because nobody else will ask that. That's too technical, right? Okay, you got the point? And this candle is the paraffin wax. Okay, paraffin wax. Okay, ganon. Okay, this is the first version of the wax. Okay, under there ang mga kuan, mga beeswax, ganon. Wax from the bees. Okay, the one who will generate like the bees. Okay, and we have also the wax of esters. Okay, wax of esters. This is what we call cetyl palmitate. Cetyl palmitate over. Okay, cetyl palmitate. This is a salt of cetyl. Kaloka. Imagine, salt siya and then at the same time belong to the lipid family. Nakakaloka. Ang hirap, diba? Okay, so wax of esters. The example is cetyl palmitate. So, carbon, 32 atoms. Hydrogen, 46 atoms, but there are oxygen, 2 atoms. The only difference of wax of esters and the paraffin wax or the candle, there's an oxygen atoms. Okay, and that's very clear. Okay, at lower temperature, the candle is liquid. Oh no, sorry, the candle is solid. At higher temperature, it will become melted. Okay, you get the point? Ganon. So waxes are still lipids. Okay, now we go to the eicosanoids. Okay, eicosanoids function are more on the widening of the blood vessels. Again, very important. And the construction of the blood vessels during the transport of different component substances in our body. So these are their functions. Okay, mo dako, mo gamay ang agianan of the nutrients. So that's their vasodilation, vasoconstriction, ganon. Okay, ito na po yung mga palangga kong hitad, or also the inflammatory controlling of the substances. Sila po yung trigger anak. Okay, mga inflammatory substances katong makakause mga cancer, mo control po sila. Of course, kaya sila mag-agyanan dito, di ba? Normally, kung ikaw mag-agyanan, hindi mo ba na makontrol din kasi mga salbahis. Oh, hawa, di ka makaagi diri. Mura sila ang trabaho sa mga kuan, eicosanoids, lipid family, more on the passage. Okay, like that, okay? So, i-construct, i-expand, i-construct, i-expand, meaning the agianan of these mga substances. Ano naman eicosanoids. Ang example na niya guys, mo ni siya. Okay, prostaglandin. Okay, prostaglandin. Okay, like thromboxane. Okay, like that. Thromboxane. Okay, like that. And then the leucoin. Okay, leucotriene. Okay, like that. So 3 double bonds. Okay, triene man siya. Okay, and then this coming from usually from the leukocytes because of the word leuco. Okay, leukocytes is the white blood cells together with phagocytes, the macrophages, eosinophils, basophils, neutrophils, the killers, the cells killers. Okay, the killer cells of our body to kill these antigens, bacteria, viruses are this group of leukocytes family. Okay, phagocytes, macrophages, neutrophils, basophils, lymphocytes, leukocytes, like that, the T cells, the B cells, the antigen, the immunoglobulin, like that, belonging to the leukocytes family, which are a part of our immune system. Okay, so these are the rules to prevent us from infections and any diseases to come in. Nasa sila kagaling trabaho ito. Okay, mo sila ilang bantayanan po dito ng kanang sa sarili, respiratory, mo na imuha, ganon. Okay, immune system mo na imuha. Okay, kung di kaya, mo intake mga paliton para mo kuanjud ba. Okay, you got the point? Okay, kay kuangan ra na ganon. Okay, you got the point? Nakakaloka. Okay, that is the eicosanoids. So again, what are the 7 types of the lipid family? First, we have the triglycerides. Okay, we have the phospholipids. Okay, we have the fatty acids. We have the eicosanoids. We have the steroids. We have the waxes, and we have the terpenes. Okay, like that. Now we can classify. We can also now classify based on our substances around us. Ganon. Okay, you get the point. Or oil, or fats, like that. So that yun, you get the point? Nakakaloka. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in with my live stream. I hope you like it. Bye bye. God bless everybody. See you later. I hope you like it. God bless everybody. Nakakaloka, di ba? Ay, nako.